Hey, what's going on? This is your boy E. Jones. You watching From the Bottom to the Top.
Bottom to the Top Hoops, what we like to do is we like to basically put you on to what's going on. Creating highlight reels, what we are setting the platform up for. Kids that are not on the radar, where we can give them a look and get them a look. All right? And log on to that bottomtothetophoops.com.
Hey, what's going on? This is Eric Jones, City Legends, Bottom to the Top Hoops, sitting here with the man, one of my mentors, Mr. Dermon Player. What's going on, Dermon?
Hey, Jones, thank you, man. Glad to see you, brother.
Oh, of course, man. Special interview because obviously you got a lot of history with New York City basketball, and that's what the show is predicated on. But you were my first coach going back many years ago.
Yes.
Upward Front over on the east side.
Kid.
Yeah, exactly. So what we want to kind of go into is history on you.
Okay.
Your impact on New York City basketball, and also the players that you coach, kind of education to players and coaches and parents, right, to kind of let them know where we are, where we were, and where we want to go. So let's start off first with, where you from, Derm? Nobody knows where you're just like a mystery man. Where you from, Derm?
Well, you know, I'm from East Harlem.
Okay.
Grew up with my grandmother and my mother. My mother lived in the Bronx.
Okay.
But I stayed with my grandmother and great-grandmother in East Harlem.
East Harlem, over by, where Upward Front?
Upward Front, yeah.
Wagner area.
Wagner area, on Lexington Avenue, on 18th Street.
Okay, okay. So going back to then, man, what made you get into coaching? Because I remember, I believe I was playing 12U small fry, and you were coaching us.
Leroy Otis, God bless him.
Yes. God bless Leroy Otis. And you were coaching, and you were still in high school at the time.
Yes, I was a junior in high school.
And you were coaching.
Yes.
What led you to coaching? Because I remember watching you at the Doc Turner Classic, and then you came back and you were coaching us.
Right. Yeah. So I played high school basketball at Graphic Arts. At the time, it was called printing.
Mm-hmm.
My senior year, 1986, it became Graphic Communication Arts.
Okay.
I was a captain on the team, playing by a high school coach named Sheldon Silver. Okay. Was the high school coach there.
That's when they were calling you the Weasel.
The Weasel, yeah, the Weasel.
I remember that.
I also was the captain of the team. Played with a big-time player named Andre Foreman.
Okay.
Who grew up in Lincoln Projects.
Okay.
Lives in California now. Him and I was a backcourt partner. So we won the city championship. We lost in the states finals to.
But you did win the city.
Won the state championship. Lost to Paco Screen. Severely.
Oh, my man Carter Screen. Big shout out to Carter Screen. Yeah. Providence fame.
Providence, like that. We lost to them in the Federation finals.
Okay.
But it was a great high school season for me, like that. And then I got a scholarship. A lot of people don't know, and baseball. I was the second baseman also in baseball. So I got a college degree there at Long Island University in Brooklyn, playing second baseman.
Okay.
But due to my great-grandmother and grandmother's financial situation and hardship, I just started to work.
Okay.
And I was always going to an after-school program called the Upward Front. And that's how I got a job there as a counselor. Mm-hmm. And I was helping them run little leagues with kids. I was playing in the older division, but I was also at a little league.
My man Chucko.
Yeah.
Julio.
Yep.
Bobby T.
Mike Brown.
Listen, we shouting out all of the old veterans.
All the veterans, man. You know that they led the way for me to be standing here today. You know
so with that being said, you go from Upward Front.
Upward Front, right.
Had some success there.
Yes.
All my guys, Steve Bowe, P. Hug, my man Figar, all those Kenny Hutch, God bless.
Kenny Powell.
So you're coaching all of these guys, a lot of talent in that East Harlem area.
Yes.
And then how does it go when now you at Young Life?
I started Young Life with a guy
with Bouncy,
Curtis Thompson.
Yeah.
And Leroy Otis.
Okay. God bless Leroy.
Yep. We started Pool 1 there. It was basically started with a small fight.
They recruited you? How did that come
Well,
about?
what happened was Leroy Otis was like, man, you have good fun over here, man. Let me. He had a connection with Salem Church.
Okay.
On the east side, west side, on 29th Street, 7th Avenue.
Yep.
The projects there, St. Nicholas Projects.
Okay.
And he said, man, I think we could take that talent over, we can start our own thing.
Oh, so let me. I just want to make sure we being clear.
Yes.
There was no Young Life before you got there.
No, there was no Young Life.
So you guys started Young Life together. You, Leroy Otis, and Curtis Thompson.
Bouncy, yep.
And I believe that Curtis is from Westchester, right?
Yeah, but even though he has his roots in Harlem. He had family,
okay, but he was living out in that area. So you started Young Life.
Started Young Life, and I brought over.
People don't know that, though.
Right, I started with Maxwell Cole, Bingo.
Okay. Big shout out to Bingo.
Yep. Dowell Elmore, East Harlem.
Yep.
And we started Young Life, and we started with first small fight, 1,200 kids.
Okay.
And then Leroy said, "What we're gonna do? We're gonna start a league called, and we're gonna start an in-house league, and we're not gonna come any kid.
Okay.
You're gonna develop every kid that comes through here, 9 years old to 12 years old, and we're gonna run an in-house league on Saturdays. And we used to have like 150 kids, and we named it. I forgot the name of the league. We named the league. But it was a league. Every Saturday we put teams, 10 kids on a team, and we named NBA teams. And that's how we developed our kids.
So just to share the history, some of the guys you had with Young Life.
Wow.
Right? Cam. Right? I believe Rafa played with you.
Rafa and his brother Lamar. He's a twin.
Okay.
Kojo.
Now, my man Kojo.
Kojo Lockhart.
And
Kareem Reed. Steph Marbury.
So you got Brooklyn.
I got Brooklyn.
You got Bronx. You got Harlem on Smash.
Sham.
So man, it almost is like the development.
Yes.
Of those guys. You talked about Leroy Otis and what his goal for you was.
Yes.
He set out to say you're going to develop every kid from 9 to 12 years old.
Yes.
He was shaking his chains. Shucks, come on, fella. Yeah.
Come on, fella.
Right. These kids who are gravitating towards, because see, the thing about it is, kids and parents, they listen.
Yes.
There's no cell phone, there's no social media.
No.
But there's a buzz going around. There's this guy, Derm. Probably was saying your name wrong.
Right.
There's probably still people calling you Derm.
TH, that's a D.
Yeah. Dermon Player, Dermon Player. So now you're developing this Young Life thing, and I'm assuming as Young Life starts to grow, your name starts to grow.
Yes, well.
You become a sought after commodity, and now it's like you got to make decisions.
Yes. The program started going from 9 to 12. As the kids hit 12, it started going 13 to 14.
Right.
And we were really dominating the small 5-for-1 under tournaments.
Okay.
Which was a big thing back then.
Over here at Stone Gym,
right there.
Right up the block from us.
Mini basketball.
Yep.
Like that.
Yep.
And we were developing our kids, and what was happening was we were beating the so-called big programs. Gauchos and Riverside. In that bracket.
And the Sun Devils was in the mix back then.
Sun Devils was in that mix. Tony Mustangs.
Yeah, Tony Rose. A big shout out to my man Tony Rose. We're going to get you on the show.
That was my rival. Tony Rose.
I got to get Tony on the show. That's another big brother to me, man.
Tony Rose is a
class guy.
He won a big program with his brothers, Little East.
Yeah, man. You won't find a better person.
Oh, no. Tony's a great guy. All about the kids. All about the kids.
Always has been. But this is about you, Derm.
Okay.
So going back now, you got a decision to make.
Yes. So let me tell you what happened.
Please. Because I'm all in. I'm like a fan right now.
So from 1986 to 1989, we were really dominating biddies in midget basketball, 13 and 14 in basketball. The kids were in 8th grade, and they were starting to lose my players to Riverside and Gauchos because they were offering the kids trips to Hawaii and Vegas and Phoenix. Resources. They were putting the kids in Catholic schools that we didn't have the resources to do. So as I developed the kids from 9 to 12, along with Tommy Swinton, T.S. Bucks, because he was another guy.
Big shout out. Going to have Tommy on the show too.
Yes, Tommy's a big time guy who developed a lot of kids for 50 years.
Yeah, man. I'm one of them.
Right.
Go ahead.
So they start flocking to Riverside and the Gauchos, and I'm like, man, I put all this investment time into these kids. It's hard to tell a kid not to go to a Catholic school.
Because you want the best for the kid.
So I had to sacrifice that situation. So I had a player, used to play with Tony Rose, called Javale Nesmith.
Okay.
We were playing in the Stone Gym Biddy Basketball League, and I met his mother. And we were big rivals in the small fry at the time. Mustangs and Young Life was like the biggest rival. Because we emulated the Magic Johnson Converse.
Okay.
We were purple and gold.
I remember that.
Purple and gold game.
Yeah.
We just had the Seattle Snap jackets, the Converse sneakers, the wristbands, the headbands.
People didn't know nothing about Young Life.
We look good. We were flash. We were flash.
Yeah.
We had the Harlem, though. It was Harlem. We had to come with the flash.
Yeah.
The glitter. That's the glitter. We had the glitter.
Okay.
And She said to me, let's make a bet. If we beat you guys for the Eastern Regional Championship, you got to train my son. I said, there's no way you're going to beat us.
Right.
So the championship game was held at Salem Church in our home gym.
Okay.
I mean, the little gym was packed. I mean, you couldn't even get in the gym.
I remember that gym.
Yeah, small downstairs in the basement of the church. Packed gym. And it was an exciting environment. And Tony Rosa had this great idea was, you know how in college basketball when you watch the first play of a game and they used to throw the tissue out in the court?
Yeah.
So they wanted to tap. And they had a kid named Shandu McNeil who works with the Long Island now, who I coach as well. Scored the first basket, and they fans threw all the toilet tissue all over the court and brought it right into the gym.
No way.
So it was an exciting environment. It was compared with spirit. It was spirit.
Yeah.
It was a spirit that's going on between him and I, and
but it was friendly.
It was friendly competition. Right. I mean, we both had.
Jerm, I think that's one of the things that get missed, right? Because we talk about Lou and Lorch and the things that you didn't hear Lou talking about Lorch, or Lorch was concerned about Lou.
Right.
These guys wanted to win. They wanted to help kids, and they stayed in their lane. I don't have to tear you down to build myself up.
Absolutely. And that's the one thing Tony Rose and I built, and that's how we are best friends today. Our relationship stands from just competitiveness and respect. I
want to beat you on the court.
Respect level. Respect level. And we would sit in the park in his project overnight, we wouldn't even know this, and talk about basketball and life and how I affect kids and how he affect kids. And we had a conversation because one of his best players of all time was a kid named Marquis Pilgrim, Yoda's brother, Lamont.
I got a story about that, man.
And
he was on the cover of the Eastern Invitational with Isaiah Thomas in the back of him playing one-on-one. They had him on there. Rob Kennedy had him on that program for years.
Yes. Well, the story behind him was Marquis loved the purple and gold.
Yep.
He came over to Young Life. Tony was not really happy about it. You know, I expect him to listen. You know, it was not me about me stealing the kid. It was more like the kid wanted to come this way. He gravitated to me because I was in Harlem, even though you was in Harlem, but it was more.
He wanted the flash.
He had the flash. Tone was the flash.
And that's the one thing I would say.
He said, Dermon, I respect the fact that you had the respect enough to come talk to me about it.
Yeah.
Because most people were like,
we taking the kid
and just moving on.
And let me tell you something, Derm. This is what I want to educate a lot of people in programs about. You know, college coaches, Mike Krzyzewski and Roy Williams and John Calipari. These guys go out and they eat dinner together.
Yes.
The difference now, I think, the reality of it is, a lot of coaches' livelihoods depend on winning.
Right.
And it's great to win.
Oh yes.
But at the same time, do it with dignity, do it with class, have respect for your peers, even if you don't like them.
Right.
Just a respect level to say, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, Thurman, you know I do my thing, AAU guys.
Right.
If a kid comes in my gym and I know that he's a player from another program, I'm picking up the phone.
That was my number one goal. I felt that, and I think that's why I got the respect I got now today, is I always respected no matter what people thought of me or what they saw in me. My passion and my concern for people and the commitment I gave was more about people. I'm a people's person. So I thought the right thing to always do was do things the right way. Because if I'm going to install discipline, I have to be disciplined.
You know what, Thurman? We all make mistakes, right? And I don't get it right, you don't get it right all the time, and we make mistakes. All we can do is be accountable for it.
Yes.
But when you speak to passion, Thurman, this is one thing that I picked up. I stole it from you. You didn't know this. But one of the best things you did as a coach, forget about X's and O's, forget about the fact that you were motivated. I always said that you and Deron Johnson, my man, Shevice, were the best, and Tom Switten were the best motivators. On top of being a great coach, you always made sure the bench was involved.
Absolutely.
You walked up and down the bench, come on, let's go, because they were as important if somebody gets in foul trouble.
Absolutely.
That those guys were going to be ready to play.
Absolutely.
So you coached the bench while you were coaching the game.
Yes.
I don't see a lot of coaches doing that, Derm, and they may leave it to their assistants, but I saw that you took the time to do that.
I think 1 through 12 is important. Most people go 1 through 5, 1 through 6, but if you don't make that 12th man, what we say 12th man, feel as important as that one man, there's no value to that. I want that 12th man to feel like he's just as important as that number one guy.
Yeah.
And sometimes you start that 12th guy so he can feel like I'm a part of this, I'm a part of it, because it's changing kids' lives. It's influencing people that at a young age, you want to mold them to do things the right way, be accountable, as you said, be respectful. They'll get more out of that than they will get out of winning a trophy. Because I'm throwing away so many trophies now, and I don't know, like, what's the next trophy going to do for me?
So it's easier for us to get off track because we got so much history.
Yes.
So let's get back to now you're at this crossroads.
Yes. So
you got to make a decision.
1989, 1990.
I was going into high school then.
Right.
No, I was in high school already.
I was on my way, we got invited to the Golden Hoops.
Did you win or lose that game against Tom?
We lost the game.
So
it took 2 days. It took 2 days. It took 2 days.
A two-day game.
They moved the game to Millbank because the game went overtime. His fans, my fans, it was a heated rivalry. And it wound up being had to move from Saturday night to Monday morning.
The holiday?
The holiday weekend.
Okay.
The holiday weekend, I think it was President weekend like that, just before the Nationals. And we had to move to a Monday with no crowd because the crowds were just absolutely out there.
Okay.
It was out there. It was vicious.
Okay.
They wound up winning the overtime. I had to wind up training Javal off the Mustangs, and then she came over to my program with her son, and we just built from there. Okay. And she lived in St. Nicholas Projects, and she was walking past Bill Raw's, God bless the dead, store with Mike McElwain. Sports fitters, outfitter of sports.
Yes. Not you talking about Billy Rose from Citywide?
Billy Rose from Citywide.
Somebody's got to win. Somebody got to lose. That record. After you lost to Citywide,
you heard that record.
That record. Right. I was on the winning side most of the time.
I ain't never with that, brother. Ain't never with that.
So
she goes to Mike, and Mike goes, listen, Val, can you give me an interview? I'm gonna tell Dermon to come see me. She goes, tell Dermon to come see you for what?
Right.
I'm a team mom. What you need him for?
Yeah, she's getting protective now.
She's very protective. She's like, we want to speed. We can bring him over to Riverside. She's like, no, that's not happening.
Right.
So she calls me. And she goes, Riverside, I'd like to speak to you. And I said, that's funny. I got a call from Dave McCullough. The guys just want to speak to me. So we played and we got invited to August. We got invited to the Columbia University Harlem Week. Golden Hoops, which is one of the biggest founding tournaments in New York City. Golden Hoops. It was played at Columbia University Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, championship game on Friday. We won our first game against the Masquerade Broncos. We upset. God bless Dr. Sally. We upset them, and we had to play Riverside. And we took Riverside to overtime and lost the game.
Who was on your team?
At that time, I had a kid named Scotty Powell, who was a 6'6" high leaper. I had a kid, Kevin Cooper, who was down in college, who was a big time. I had a kid named Gerard Thomas, who went to New Rochelle. I had Kojo Lockhart. I had all my local kids that no one really knew about. I didn't have
just getting after
gritty kids. So what happened was we played. We lost to Riverside, and I turned around that next day, that Saturday morning, citywide championship. I'm playing against Mike McElwain's 12 and under Riverside Church team.
You go from high school
to my 12 and under team. Was Kareem Reed, Marquis Pilgrim, it's Javal, it's Danny Lopez, it's that crew right there. We're beating Bernard Barrow, Trent Tucker, Mac Perkins. I mean, they're big. We're pressing them out the gym. In the first quarter, up 22-2. Mike McElwain gets thrown out the game in the first quarter.
Can't believe it.
Game's over. We win the championship. He's pissed. They were undefeated. We were undefeated. We put him in the championship. We beat him. Turns out to be that we wound up winning citywide championship. Go on to meeting Mike McElwain and Mr. Lawrence that Monday, that Thursday. Signed a contract with Riverside Church.
Wow.
In 1990. Summer 1990. It's like in Riverside Church.
It's almost as if things happen the way they're supposed to.
Yes.
And now when I'm looking at it, I'm saying, okay, you're going to Riverside.
Yes.
Man, the floodgates open up.
Yes, it does.
The amount of talent that you have. So transitioning out of the gym into back office.
Back office, yes.
Talking about that transition of now you're at Riverside.
Yes.
And the floodgates absolutely open up.
Yes.
Tell me, or tell the people, what that looked like for you, and first of all, what was your role? What were you hired to do? And then give me a I would say a brief summary, but you can't really do that, right? So let's try to just paint a picture of what was going on. So what was your role?
In September of 1990, Mr. Lewis and Mike McElwain, was the athletic director at the time, said, your role will be coming in to help us keep developing the program. So they gave me the assistant athletic director's job. Okay. Because I brought a whole program over.
A lot of the Young Life
kids.
Which included?
Stephon Marbury.
So he wore the Young Life uniform and he wore the Riverside uniform?
We didn't have a Riverside uniform.
Okay.
After his freshman year at Lincoln High School, the Gauchos.
Okay.
The Gauchos.
So you had Rafer still?
Rafer, yeah. Yep.
Was his brother still playing?
No, Lamar stopped playing basketball.
Okay. And you had Kareem Reed?
Kareem Reed, who was with me from Young Life all the way through.
Okay. So now you have Riverside.
Yes.
First of all, you were sought after, the Gauchos, Riverside.
Don't forget Sheldon Jefferson. It's a lot of players there.
I don't want to skip over anybody,
okay.
but for the sake of like ESPN, you know what I mean? We got to cut we got to cut some of it.
Right.
But you know, big shout out to everybody who played for you.
Yes.
So now, what's your perspective? Kid from East Harlem, Riverside Church, Story program. You really got the autonomy because they know you're the young, hot coach with energies, and parents want to come and play for you. Do you feel like a sense of accomplishment at that point?
Yes.
Or were you just working?
I was just working. I didn't, I'm just a worker. Like, I move on to the next thing, and sometimes you gotta reflect on, wow, what you did next. And I realized that I graduated from high school. I was in college. I stopped going to college. I started working.
What school did you go to?
I started at LIU.
Oh, for baseball.
Okay. I stopped to work, and then
picked up the coaching.
And then Mr. Lewis said, listen, you have a chance to be special at this. You need to go back to school in case one day the door opens for other opportunities.
Wow.
So he said, get back in school. So I started taking some online classes, and then I didn't completely finish the degree.
Here's the deal, Derm. What I know is you're speaking to how old were you?
I started coaching at 17 years old.
But how old were you when you started coaching Riverside?
I started coaching Riverside, I was 22, 23 years old.
Mr. Lorch wasn't cheap.
No.
And I'm sure he was taking good care of you.
Yes. The biggest thing was that I didn't have to go fundraise like I used to do at Young Life. I didn't have to sell.
You had salary, you had resources, you had a program
behind me.
So at the end of the day,
I had contacts that I couldn't reach.
And at the end of the day, Derm, this is the one thing that you can educate young coaches on. Right?
Yes.
Because you arrived and you got this money, at that point you had a decision to make.
Yes.
Go back to school, Lord gave you the insight. We'll get to the end part in terms of finishing the degree and all of that.
Yes.
So now you got the program.
Yes.
You're well taken care of, you got resources, you're doing all right financially, and you're coaching some of the best talent in the city.
Yes.
When did you know that, I'm one of the best coaches out here?
I would say my second year here at Riverside. Stephon left to go to the Gauchos.
Okay. Big shout out to Steph.
The team I had taken over now, I went from coaching 12 and under, 13 under, 14 under, to coaching high school basketball kids.
Big difference.
15 under kids. Took that team, that 15-year-old team, led by Rafer Austin and Jarrell Naismith, with Jamal Livingston, Stretch, Anthony McNeil.
Okay.
I mean, we were good. Melvin McKee, Melvin Johnson. We had some really good young kids. And we went to a Bull Williams tournament
in
Virginia, where we were considered the B team because the A team had went to a national tournament in France, or the top 15, 16, 17 with the French that year.
Let me just speak to really quickly, Derm, and you. Sometimes I do this when I'm doing interviews, so you have to excuse me.
No problem.
You talking about groundbreaking things. You're taking kids from the areas we come from, going to France.
Going to France.
Some of the things that
Canada.
That was like, it was so forward thinking.
Yes.
That here it is, we're getting the opportunity to be cultured and travel, and some people never been on a plane before.
Absolutely. Staying in 5-star hotels, traveling first class,
It was all kind of stuff. So they went to France. You go to Boo Williams.
Boo Williams.
Okay.
And very funny story. The 15 on the team, we say, you know what? Because you guys all played high school basketball. We'll play 17 on. Let's just roll the dice out. And we get to the championship game against Virginia, Boo Williams. And you know who was on that team?
No.
Bubba Chuck, Allen Iverson.
Wow.
Allen Iverson.
Y'all playing against AI.
AI. Ray Forrest.
15.
Yeah, 15. Allen Iverson.
Who's got the footage, man? I'm
Boo
calling.
Williams gotta have it.
I'm calling Boo Williams. I'm calling AI. Skip, holla at me. Let's get the footage up, man.
Yes. AI and Ray Forrest are going back at it fourth in a packed Hampton gym. Hampton University gym.
Because Boo Williams Sportsplex wasn't.
What do you mean?
It wasn't built. This
I don't even know.
might have been Bethel High School where AI went.
Right. Is that, well, no, we played at the Hampton High School. It was a Hampton High School championship game.
So
packed gym. Packed. Everybody.
Well, Bubba
was right. Now Rafe was a young guy. Now Rafe was coming out when he started with the.
But we all know
who Bubba Chuck was, because at that time he was supposed to be number one player in the country.
Who Skip was.
Right. We know. They didn't know.
But they knew after the game.
They knew after the game.
Yeah.
Oh, they knew after the game.
Okay.
They definitely knew after the game.
So at that point, you're coaching this game. It's back and forth.
Back and forth. Boo Williams eventually won. You know, they won. They had a more experienced team.
Okay.
And then, you know, the year goes on, and then I realized that Mr. Law said to me, "Man, you really can coach. We knew you can coach, but for what you did there, Boo Williams wound up calling Mr. Law saying, you got a special coach there. This guy's like, he knows his X and O's.
Right.
He gave me a lot of props. Then I started this coaching 17 under. And I said to Mr. Law, the one thing I don't want to do is not have an effect on the youth minds. Now, we had a staff of great coaches here. Phil Corley, Al Eford,
Mike Eford is one of my all-time favorites.
Mike Chapman.
Yeah. Mike Sereno, God bless.
Mike Sereno. Ken Manigo when he was here. God bless that Calvin Chamberlain was a great assistant coach for us. Yeah, Riverside.
So now, Derm, you guys, you're coaching 17s, you're coaching the young kids.
I always said I always want to get back and teach, because I think what's missing today that we did a lot back then was we had talent, but if you didn't teach the talent how to play together, if you didn't mold the talent to be disciplined, and you didn't mold the talent how to be cohesiveness, you wouldn't win anyway.
But guess what, Derm? Here's one of the things that gets overlooked with guys like Dave McCullough, yourself, guys like Dave Jones and Al Eford, and all of the great coaches out of New York City.
Gary Charles, Long Island Panthers.
They had guys who were the best players on their high school teams, came and averaged 18 points and were willing to settle for a role, not even settle, star in a role that may have been a seventh man, but it's no telling at the end of the game, those guys might be in the game because they're playing better than the guys in front of them.
Yes.
Because as a good coach, you playing the combinations. You're not saying, oh, you want to start 5, you finishing the game.
Right.
This guy's got 20 and he's cooking.
Right.
Got to keep him in there.
I keep him in there, absolutely. And again, I think that's part of teaching. I think that that comes with being in the gym and installing a certain system. Trust, process, development, believing in one another, understanding the common goal. And I don't think people take the time to show that now. I think people just want to win tournaments and say they have the best this, best that. But at the end of the day, if your kid don't develop to be an overall good person, what do you really accomplish?